Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to ride 16 north from Beckley, starting right north of Beckley there, right where 16 and 19 converge there. We're 19 four lane there. We're going to start right there underneath the underpass and head north up to Gauley Bridge. I think that was the name of that. I'll have to look right here. As you can see, you go through like Fayetteville. Fayetteville is an awesome little place. And this is a very, very scenic route, especially when you cross Fayetteville here. You cross 19 again, and you can see right there's the Gauley Bridge. Right there. I mean, when you go through the stoplight there to cross 19, you can look to your right hand side and you can see the bridge. But you follow 16 up through here, and you can see the rivers all right there and stuff. And you actually cross it right there where I'm pointing at, and you come down through. This is absolutely beautiful country, beautiful ride. Yeah, right there. We're going to stop in Gauley Bridge today. This is a super nice little town. I don't know if it's a real touristy place. I mean, I didn't see that many things going on. I mean, surely there's people there that's visiting and stuff, but it's not something that I'd never traveled there. I'd actually never been out there on to the town of Gauley Bridge before. But yeah, we start right there in the underpass and come on through there. That's where like we were just riding 19 and it turns to 4 lane there, so I don't do 4 lanes. So we're going. This ride here, I actually took 16 all the way from there, all the way up to 79 there at, I think it's exit 40 there at Big Otter. And if you guys remember, several weeks ago, I had rode from Harrisville down to Big Otter on 16. So after this will be a 2 video section here because it's a pretty decent ride. Time wise and mileage wise. From Beckley there to Gauley Bridge, you're looking at roughly 36 to 40 minutes, depending on how you ride, and it's roughly 30 to 32 miles. There's a lot of places to pull off, and I kind of lost my mileage there a little bit because there was a couple times we had pulled off to look at something, and so, but it's within 30 to 32 miles. We start out here, and this end of 16 is pretty trafficy actually. Of course, you go through a lot of these little towns and stuff. And there used to be a leather shop. It was in this town here. I'm trying to see if I could see it. I forgot to look until just now. It might have been in that. Yeah, it's right there. No. It's in one of those buildings. If you're going north, it would be on your left-hand side. It's a leather shop. And they sell boots and riding gear and stuff like that. I stopped in there several years ago. I'm not going to say that they're still in business, but I mean they were been in business for a long time when I stopped in there, so I would assume that they're still in business. So, but yeah, I forget. We got a couple pair of riding boots back in the day or something like that. I can't remember. I don't spend money on riding boots anymore. I just wear my boots. A lot of this here, I did fast forward a lot in this video because in between the cool stuff, it's literally treat off. I think that like if you're going to go visit Gauley Bridge or take 16, like if you come down to Fayetteville on 19 or something and kick off on 16 to go to the town of Gauley Bridge, I think that would be a super awesome early to mid fall ride when the leaves start changing and or start falling, because a lot of that road, like you can tell the river's over there, but you can't see it because of all the trees and stuff. Kind of stinks a little bit. I mean, I tried to, put the camera where I could when we were going through there so you could see the river and stuff like that. It's a pretty big river. I was kind of impressed. I don't know if you're when you pass the Gauley River, up there on the bridge, you don't really realize how large that river is all the way down there. So when you're going across a small bridge right over top of you, you're like, holy cow, this is massive. So it was actually really uh, enjoyable ride. Now the second half of this, from when you go uh, out of Gauley Bridge and up through Clay and stuff, uh, it wasn't as cool. I mean, it was still sights to see, but from like once you get into Clay, man, the roads turn to garbage. Um, right now, you're riding right alongside 19 there. Um, we actually done some work right there out of camera frame years ago. I was trying to see what the next town is, or kind of remember what the next town is. That we do have to jump on. Like I mean, I understand that these roads way they connect and stuff, but we got to jump on the 4 lane up here for like literally a mile, and I was not happy about it, but it is what it is. But up here in oh, Oak Hill, I think that's the name of it. It's a nice town. Like it puts you in the mind. I guess if you spend time there enough, it wouldn't be as cool. But um, like there's all kinds of little towns like at Mount Hope. Like if you were on 19 right now, you'd be passing it. It would be to your left right there. But right up here, we got to jump on the 4 lane, and we're going to jump up back off on 16. This is actually 16 and 19 running together. Um, but Oak Hill up here, like I spent a little bit of time in this town, as when we were working down here and stuff, and it was like they got nice antique stores, a lot of places to eat and hang out and stuff like that. There's stuff to like if you visited this area, like you came down camping and around the Gauley Bridge and stuff. There's all kinds of stuff uh to do down here. There's several state parks. I mean we'll see them on the thing, but you got there was another one can't remember what it was now. I think it was a Babcock State Park. Anyways, I guess it's not important. But there's uh all kinds of stuff in this area. Like there's a little bit of driving involved um in between stuff, but it's not like you get up and you have to drive 2 hours to go see something. It's mostly fairly close, but I think it's not really mileage. Just most of everything is 2 lane to get out to it. I know on 60 there, like I think we crossed 60. We actually run with 60, I think. Man, I am drawing a blank today, and yeah, we jump in with 60 and 16 run together for several miles there, but 60 uh, comes off of 19 also, and runs out through there. I'm gonna do a video on 60. Don't know when I'll get to that because either way, to get to one end to the other of 60 is a couple hours for me. So it would it'll be like a full day ordeal for me. Hawk's Nest, man, that was killing me. Hawk's Nest is close to this. Like when 60 runs in or 16 runs into 60 there, when we merge together, if you go, to the right, like you're going back to 19, you'll run into Hawk's Nest. But I know it's just useless information, I guess. But that's just things like when you're looking at a map, you can, plan that kind of stuff out. Now, to me, back to this town, I just love older towns, small towns with cool main streets. They get me every time. Trying to see while I'm, also trying to watch the video here so I can comment for you guys. I can't remember where 60 actually starts on the one side. I think it starts right in Charleston. That's horrible. Oh no. Yeah. Nope. 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 Yep. Well. Yep. Starts right on the west side of Charleston. That's terrible news. Who wants to go to Charleston? I have no idea what I was flailing my hand about right there, but I was flailing my hand about something. I love it when I'll do these rides and I'll have these videos. And I try to keep everything separate. You know what I mean? Like if I do, this route, I'll leave it on one memory card. Then if I do another route, the next day or something like that, I'll take a different memory card. Then I'll go back through and I'll be watching them. I'm like, where was I at? What was I doing? What was I pointing at? And it takes me forever. I mean, like, you gotta. This is when you break these videos down. You're sitting back down and watching them. Like, if it's like an hour ride, man, you're sitting there over an hour's time trying to go through this and be like, all right, well, this is okay. I know where I'm at. You know what I mean? It's not easy. It's not. But I think I've talked about it before. The process of doing these videos. Uh, sometimes it's pretty entertaining, but it can be eat up time. Like I've absolutely stated before, I've got a clear house full of kids. So for me to do a voiceover, like I have to get rained out at work or get up like an hour early before everybody else gets up to do these videos, to do a voiceover, because it's it's a madhouse here. Now you do have to be paying attention here. 16 cuts off of that, so but it is clearly signed. I was watching it on the little baby screen and still even seen the 16 to the right. Now along this road, is patchy like this, but not really anywhere is it super rough on this video up to Gauley. Up to Gauley, it's not rough. We'll cross that in the next video. I don't want to say I don't run roads down, but you're going to hear a lot of griping from me on the next video because I still remember some of those holes. But the road, like through here in towns and stuff, other than, your miscellaneous gravel and stuff drug out from people pulling onto the road, it's not really dirty or anything. And when we get further in the video, we'll be riding alongside a lot of cutouts and 10, 12 foot high walls. And it really impressed me. Like, I actually watched around to see if I could find anything. And for the most part, like, the roads were actually pretty clean. Like, they were, I don't know if, I very seriously doubt that they have anybody that actually goes out and watches those roads beside them high walls and stuff. It's probably just your local people, like, get out and kick out the rocks out of the road and stuff where they fall off the hillsides. Now, I think they were doing something with the, this is coming into Fayetteville here, and it wasn't Bridge Day or nothing. I don't know if it's normally like this. I I come into Fayetteville a couple times, but I come in actually from 19, and I only went up here to this antique store. I'd never been in this little section of town right here, but there was something going on. Maybe, I mean, somebody could tell me that travels down there or goes to the bridge day or whatever, or does cool stuff down there. Uh, Maybe it's always like this, but it seemed extremely busy to me for no bigger than that little town is. But yeah, I'd been right there at that little antique store before, and that was as far out this road as I ever came from 19 there. I'd stopped down here at this Tudor's a couple times, but I mean everybody. I guess if you got a rack on top of your car, you got to have a kayak on top of it. So if you guys are going to go travel down there, make sure you put your kayak on top of your car. But like I said, there's plenty of places to eat and get gas and things of that nature. Yeah, like right here, for some reason I didn't even look, but if you look to your right, the Gauley Bridge is right down there. I think it's like a mile, but it's all a straightaway, 3/4 of a mile, something like that. So I mean, you could see it, but you can't see anything. But this here, like that runs forever out through there. Like it was just little residential area. I actually cut like 4 minutes of the video out. That was about the only place I cut video. Rest of it I pretty much fast forward. There's a couple little spots that I cut out, but I don't think I cut out but 5 minutes of video on this one here. That place here was pretty cool. I think you can stop there. It was like an old mill and stuff. It wasn't a tourist attraction or anything. It was just something you could stop and look at. But right through here, like I was talking, you got all the rock walls and stuff, all the cutouts. And it was like you can see even the ditch line was in really good shape. It really did surprise me because a lot of times your ditch lines alongside your rock walls are usually not clean. And you run. I don't know what river. I don't know if that's a river or just a creek. That's a pretty cool overhang. You actually ride kind of under the overhang. This part of the road right here, you're probably 6 miles in from 19 right there, maybe 7. And that road is kind of, it's not rough, it's just really patchy. Right here you're coming up on the river here. Somewhere. Yeah, that's pretty awesome view right there. There's several more. This road, like right there's a little parking place. You can walk out and look at the river, and I think people like kayak and whitewater or whatever from there. But I didn't realize what I was riding into out through here, and this is kind of why I broke this into 2 videos, because there was a lot of this road I wanted to leave in here, and some of it I fast forward to, but a lot of it I didn't, because it like it was so twisty, turny, and really enjoyable. Like, and you're riding alongside the river for most of it. Like I was talking earlier, if it was fall or early spring, before the leaves and stuff come on, like that would be gorgeous right there. Like you can look at that river and see for miles down through there. Like straight ahead of you is a huge valley, but you can't see it for all the stinking trees. But it turns into like a wavy road up through here. It was crazy. Yeah, look at all the trees. That's a great view. Just trees. And that 400-foot cut hillside right there. Just rocks up there waiting to fall on you. But like this here, like I was saying, it really surprised me how clean the road was and stuff. Now the ditch line up through there was a little bit filled in with leaves and stuff, but like even on the other side there wasn't no washouts or nothing. Now this little intersection right here is kind of crazy to me, but I guess it works for everybody. But here's where you jump on 60. Like that turn right there, the camera didn't catch how tight that turn was. Like they're coming around that tight turn, and you're pulling out right in front of them. Like, man, that's dangerous. But we got out of there safe and sound. If you were worried about it. Now here, right in here is where this is where 60 and 16 run together, and this you stay on 60 and 16 all the way to the town of Gauley Bridge, and but this, I mean, this is what kind of blew me away. I wasn't expecting this road to be like this. I don't know why. I never really looked at the map. I just knew that I could take 16 out of Beckley all the way home, or all the way, north. And I was like, all right, well, we're going to do this because I haven't done this section of the 16 anyway. And it just blew me away. It was so enjoyable that I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It was just so enjoyable that the road, it was a real bike road, you know what I mean? And there's plenty to look at. I know it doesn't look like there is, but like my camera doesn't catch what my eyes are looking at when I'm turning and stuff. And I hate that. That's why I try to like turn my head as far as I can, because I notice that my eyes can go a lot further than my neck can, apparently. But this road is it's just a fun ride. So that car I passed, I noticed that they had out of state tags, and I was like, I better go ahead and get around them. And then I seen this old boy here with the West Virginia plates. I was like, well, I think I'll let him run. He ends up almost outrun me out through here. I was like, holy cow. But you never know. He probably drives this road every day. Like right there, that was a gorgeous view. And it was wide open for, 40 feet. The camera caught like just a little section of it, and that's where I'm talking about. I need to, turn a little bit further to get you guys a better view sometimes. And there was actually, it really surprised me. There was limited pull offs, but I guess it's, they barely got this road cut out of the mountainside. It's hard to tell how long this road's actually been here. But when we get up into town here, you'll see. I want to go ahead and tell you because I'll forget. I think it's like a little tiny 4-lane, and we got to turn off to the right hand side and make a hard right back. And I was looking. I seen the signs, and I was looking off to the river and everything else, and I've missed it. And it kind of stinks because it kind of wraps around under a train trestle. But I just went up the road and turned around and came back. But I just wanted to let you know that, like, I'll be coming in from the wrong side when we do it. I'll try to point it out, but I know I'll be running my chops and probably forget about it. So I wanted to go ahead and say that. You're welcome. But this was a really cool ride. I think everybody should at least try to do this this section. You don't have to start in Beckley. Like, I would absolutely go out of my way to, if I was down in that area, I'd ride down 19, jump off there at in Fayetteville, right after the bridge, ride it north all the way back to Gauley Bridge, or you know what I mean? Because if you're on 16 here, or 60, you can just turn around and go all the way back the other way, once you hit 60 right there. But and just do a big circle. I've brought it up before. I'd like to get some more routes out there, but I think I'm gonna do a couple like full circle ride videos. The only problem with that is some of them can turn into like 4 and 5 hour rides, so, or even longer. And I don't want to make a bunch of like 3 or 4 videos on a single ride unless it's like you're hitting like major stuff, you know what I mean, like going and seeing stuff. So, but that. I'm sure I'll make some, but I think it's still a little bit out on videos like that. Unless someone requests one, then we'll try to get out there and do that for them. But like all this right here, like I was saying before, to see the openings there and stuff. If the leaves were off, you could see for miles, man. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I hate the fact that the camera doesn't it doesn't always pick up. Seeing this stuff in for yourself is pretty awesome. I love the natural beauty that West Virginia has to offer and stuff, and there's a lot of people that come from a lot of different states to ride some of the big, the I forget what they're called, but like the routes of West Virginia, and then the biker routes of West Virginia. I'm like, you can ride anywhere in West Virginia and see some of this stuff. You don't have to do a special, checkpoint ride, but some people do. But that's fine too. Like this is a little cool viewing area and stuff, and you get out and check out the river and all this. There's a lot of cool rock faces in that mountain over there off to the left and things. It's coming down to the river. This is a big valley. It's like open in like 3 or 4 different ways. So but like right here, like I've been crying about this whole video. If the leaves are off, you could really see some stuff. There's a little park down there. I think there's a beach where you can go. I don't know if I should call it a beach, shoreside or whatever, where you go down there and hang out. And I don't know if that's a private or a state thing down there, but I mean you can pull down there until someone runs you off. But here's food and stuff. We're coming into the town of Gauley here. This is actually kind of part of it. But the little town where, all the residences and stuff are right up here on the right. But, yeah, I guess keep checking out the videos. Like them and share them. And please comment. I really do want to know what you guys are thinking. That's gorgeous right there. Absolutely gorgeous. A normal human being would have stopped and got you guys some views and stuff there, but not me. I just kept right on riding like an idiot. But right up here, right at the end of this bridge, pretty much, that's nice right there. Is where you want to make it, to stay on 16 is where you want to make your right hand turn, and it's pretty sharp right there. And I didn't, so I went up, turned around, and here we are. So you guys be safe out there, and catch me on the rest of the 16 ride here. You guys have a fun ride.